Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 20. 10, touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Shift. Back north. 13. Check 13. 26.
Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers, man open. That's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
He's coming. Right left.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Throwing on first down is Murray. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing is Murray on third down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
Jump out! Inside. Smooth. 57. Mike, 57. Get Mike. I'm coming. I'm coming. We are going. Shoot.
Rodgers now on first down. He's going to walk one. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Demir Bird, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Second down, Murray sets to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Mike's 4-2. Mike's 4-2. I got one. Mike's 42.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And the catch made by Hopkins. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line.
First down, Cardinals. All day, every day, any day. Check 20. Slam.
These two teams all tied after one. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
You.
Play action. Now it's Murray. He'll buy some time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Mike 42. 42, check. Mike 42. He don't know no better. Hey, watch it.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never got a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Shoot. 10-30. 31's the mic. Hey, check.
Now Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
Buddy up. 42. You must be three. You got double time. 3 down. It's free.
After the turnover, here's Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montravius Adams. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Don't be scared. SOS.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On first down, Jones, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Rodgers, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Tighten up, tighten up. Over here. Kill. Inside. Hey, turn it up.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. There he goes left side. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
26. 31's the mic. I'm coming.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Hey, we got 3 down. Right. 88. 36. Right now, you got 58. You got tape. Yeah, Liz.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Packers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Push him back. Push him back. Check the call. 58, boy, 58. Let's go. Come on. Pass. Quick dance. Come.
Now this time, Murray to throw it. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Ready.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll try the right side here. Barkley.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
First down, Arizona.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. They'll get that one out quickly to Brown. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Alert, alert. 3 are going. Check 31, check 31. Shit. Hey, flag.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Switch. Uncle, over here. Check 3, check inside.
Rodgers now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now Rodgers. Being chased out left. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Now Aldrich Rosas for the field goal attempt. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Rosas' kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. He'll have a first down past the 40. Touchdown, Cardinals. Saquon Barkley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Jack! For the 50. 57.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Check. Lucky. Showing it. 25. Yes.
Snap comes to Murray at 1. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Andy Isabella, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll go again to Jones. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now a draw play. This is Jones. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It's taken to the 26. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Murray will get this out to Barkley, complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Brings up 3rd down.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray able to find Isabella. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Murray now on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO, and they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Well, he had it online, gave it a pretty good ride too, but in the end, he's a victim of the crossbar.
And Brandon, you know kickers very well. I bet if we ask him after the game, he'll say he didn't get all of it. We've seen him hit from deeper than this in warm-ups. But here, he's a foot or so from clearing that bar.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Now this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. 3rd down here.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
To throw on 3rd down. Murray going deep for Hopkins. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. On the return is Irvin. It's a 47-yard punt. but they did give up 10 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Tonight's final score, Cardinals 31, Packers 10.
Yeah. One up and up, it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it.